work. Salamat po.
Well, I think dapat i-distinguish mo kasi, di ba? Even if that activity included parang intelligence work, pero dapat i-segregate mo or ihiwalay mo kung was it for purchase of information or payment of rewards. Doon sila nadidisallow sa payment of rewards given the same activities eh. Because, yun nga, walang results na pinapakita. But if it was payment for information ang binayaran nila, and nag-result naman na walang nangyari sa event because nga yun ang sinasabi nilang successful kasi walang nangyari because they purchased information, then sinabi naman ng witness kanina na allowed yun. Ang hindi allowed is ang payment of rewards.
I think what it appears is that the COA says na dapat connected siya doon sa mandato ng ahensya. I think that is very important for the public to know kung ano yung dapat na intervention ng isang agency that has no direct mandate over security matters. In this case, the Office of the Vice President has no direct mandate to intervene in security matters, but she did so by requesting the confidential funds. What the COA wanted to really know is not the regular police work that has been doing by a lot of agencies that have that mandate. Kasi gusto mong mag-intervene, gusto mong mag-support, gusto mong mag-assist sa mga agencies na doing all this police work. So what can you actually supplement and add to the overall objective of dismantling criminal elements in the country? Ano? By surveillance of intelligence na ginagawa naman ng other agencies. Kaya nga gustong makita ng COA ano yung mga na gawa ninyo na outside of the regular police work na po pwedeng sabihin you have successfully implemented this intelligence gathering that would support the already trabaho or work ng ating mga security agencies. Kaya dun pumapalo ngayon yung reward, 'di ba? Kasi bakit ka pa magsusupport ng isang agenda na kung ikakopy mo lang at imitate mo lang yung regular police work ng ibang ahensya? Kaya ka nga decididong mag-support ng counter-insurgency work. Kasi may alam ka na po pwede mong idagdag doon sa already na ginagawa ng mga ahensya. I think yun yung dapat natin makita. And based on what we've heard from today's cross-examination, ang nag-benefit lang ata doon yung OVP. Yung pagpunta niya doon sa Davao, na safe siya. So it actually benefited herself, no, and her office by securing the security of the Vice President. What did the country obtain and gain from that? No? Anong nakuha natin doon as a benefit and as an advantage? So I guess that's the line of distinction na kinakailangan natin malaman. So again, purchase of reward, purchase of reward, kailangan talaga may success yan eh. Hindi mo lang po pwedeng sabihin na hindi, ang hindi naman nire-require ng COA, but the COA has been consistent. It has been their standard of auditing na rin-require nila sa agency. So hindi lang po pwedeng sabihin ng OVP na hindi, wala naman dyan nakasulat dyan specifically sa joint circular, so why are you asking this from us? Eh yun naman talang standard ng procedure ng auditing process. So I guess kung titingnan natin, ano bang gusto ng OVP? Special treatment na naman, no? So kung usual standard yon na ginagawa ng ICFAO sa lahat ng ahensyang ni-require nila for the reward, dapat sumunod din ang OVP at hindi dapat magiging exempted.
Okay, thank you. A brief reminder lang, medyo limited po ang ating oras, so let's keep our questions short as much as possible para mabigyan natin pagkakataon ng iba. Go ahead, Vel.
So pwede sagot namin ask and answer na?
Pwede po. Go ahead, Vel.
Okay. May tuturing po bang unprofessional na yung naging act ng depensa since makailang beses na rin pumagitna si Presiding Officer Escudero?
Well, I guess merong standard na in-expect natin from the defense. What we notice no and observe is nag-intervene ng presiding officer kasi argumentative na yung defense. No, very clear 'yon. Nakikipag-argue na siya doon sa witness. At the same time, yung mga questions na ay misleading na, no? And paulit-ulit asked and answered. So so yung naging ayun the manner of cross-examining the test ng the witness, mukhang hindi yun yung in-expect natin na manner of cross-examining the witness. Medyo adversarial siya. No, kaya nag-i-intervene na yung ating presiding officer.
On other matters naman po, can I get your reaction po doon sa pag-file ng kaso kay VP Sara sa DOJ, and will this affect yung proceedings, and how will the defense treat the Article 4 of the impeachment?
Well, again, these are two separate and distinct cases, no? Itong final ng DOJ is final nila with the regular courts. Sa atin naman, which we're dealing with the impeachment court lang. And we're limited to ano yung impeachment, ano yung ground for impeachment, at ano yung purpose for impeachment. Iba naman yung criminal case na final ng DOJ for grave threats dun sa regular courts naman natin. So, iba din yun.
Well, I would re-echo the position of Congressman Keith Flores. The impeachment is a constitutional case. It's being deliberated, and the other one could be a regular criminal proceedings. So magkaiba nga yung pananaw. The other one has a certain penalty which does not substitute the penalty of whoever comes first, no, either the penalty of conviction in the case of the impeachment court is removal from office. It does not substitute the penalty which I believe in the criminal proceeding over the issue on grave threats is being filed against her. So magkaiba yung magiging appreciation ng magkaibang korte.
Naman po nito maapektuhan on how will the defense team treat the Article 4?
We really don't know how they're gonna approach it, no? Kasi strategy yan nila. Pero iba naman, like let's say even the, di ba, weight of evidence that will be needed is different in criminal cases. Iba din dito sa impeachment court. Sabi nga ni Congressman Zia, ang penalties iba din. Ang siguro appreciation of the facts and iba din, no? Kasi ibang level yung criminal case. So far as the prosecution is concerned, wala namang impact sa amin ang filing of the case. Siguro it bolstered the fact na totoong may threats that were made, di ba? Kasi nga si DOJ na nag-file ng grave threats, no? But as far as we are concerned, focusing on the impeachment case lang, walang impact sa amin.
Okay po. Last on my end po, may epekto po ba yung absence ni Senator Cayetano, Alan Peter Cayetano, and Senator Legarda dun sa credibility nila as senator judge, since sila ang kikilatis din dun sa witness and on the whole proceedings?
As much as possible, gusto namin na present lahat yung mga senator judges, di ba? Because paano mo ma-appreciate yung pag-testify ng isang testigo kung wala ka doon? Paano mo ma-appreciate yung demeanor niya in answering the questions, di ba? Mas gusto namin na supposedly present lahat yung senators at nakikinig at nag-o-observe sa paano sinasagot ng witnesses yung mga tanong ng prosecution and at the same time yung defense.
Sa kabuuan naman ang summation naman nung lahat ng argumento at ebidensya ay ang korteng tatay yung hukom. Ang senadong tatay yung hukom. So tama pa yung sinabi ni Congressman Flores na indispensable sana yung kanilang attendance, although hindi naman din natin pwedeng i-question yung pagiging other character of the Senate acting like exercising the legislative function, kasi ang alam ko yung mga absences in the case of Senator Legarda ay granted by the Senate President, no? Kasi may medical leave siya. So we also try to balance it out with the Senate exercising its function as a legislative chamber, no? Kasi yun dun pumasok yung hindi pagpunta ni Senator Legarda. But then again, mas maigi sana na all senators who are able to attend the trial would really attend so that the country is confident na kung ano yung magiging decision ng korte would be based on the merits of the testimonies as well as the evidence that they have personally seen and observed.
Sir, two questions. First po, sir, kasi kahapon po na-interview po namin si former Commissioner Heidi Mendoza at ang sabi niya, kung siya ang tatanungin, mas marami pang na-disallow. Kasama yung payment for information, disallowed din siya kung siya yung nag-audit. And then sabi niya, in the first place kasi dapat walang confidential funds ang OVP at DepEd dahil yung mga operations naman, binibigay naman din talaga sa AFP or PNP. With the testimony of Ms. Sailin Del Campo, do you think na-bolster yung ganong opinion? Dahil apparently may coordination din naman pala ang OVP sa PNP and AFP.
Totoo, kasi tama po yung sinabi ni no? Ito yung kanyang legal opinion. Yung si Sailin, yan yung official na position ng COA kasi it went through different stages before the issuance of AOM, no? Tama po ako, I completely agree with kay former COA Commissioner. Dahil unang-una, kung papansin nyo, yung sagot kanina ni Ms. Del Ocampo, yung mandate, sabi niya, nung agency, yung mandate, parating niya sinasabi nyo, pero pinuputol ng defense, di ba? Importanteng malaman yun kasi unang-una, yung mandate ng opisina, nire-recognize niya yung capacity of that office to enforce any activity or initiative. Now, the mandate of the OVP and the education, Department of Education, has nothing to do whatsoever with the work that is being done by the AFP and the police. That's why hindi sila capacitated. Diba? That's why they need to partner with these agencies. Kaya nga nung pinresenta nila kanina, yung lahat ng mga activities nila, mukhang surveillance, mukhang gathering lang. These are all regular police work. Ba't mo gagastosan ng ilang milyon? Yun ang sinasabi ni Sailin. Yung agency ay yung mandate. Kasi kung ikaw, ini-insist mo na tutulungan mo yung isang agency dahil para sa'yo, kulang-kulang din sila ng ibang other ways to obtain intelligence gathering. Gusto mo sila suportahan, you have to supplement and augment things that they are not doing. You cannot just replicate what they have been doing regularly. Ano yun? Maglalagay ka ng mga pulis sa daan? These are regular work. Sabi ko nga kanina kay Congressman Sheljok, no? Kayang-kaya ng RTA yan, yung mga traffic enforcer yan, just to make sure that the security of the Vice President and the Vice President herself, if she attends the Davao inauguration, whatever bridge that they want to inaugurate it, kayang-kaya ng police work. You don't need to spend millions for that. So, that is what I agree. Kung hindi dapat wala sa mandate niya, ibig sabihin wala siyang capacity to do that. So, sayang yung pera na dapat na ilaan sa mga ibang other activities.
I agree with Kong Z, and I agree with that statement. Talaga, dapat let's put confidential and intelligence funds to the agencies na doing those work, no? So, kanina sa testimony, pinatestify on cross-examination, tinatanong yung witness, itong activity na to, yung tree planting, yung Christmas party, yung etc., ginamitan ng ganito na funds, etc. Yet, we still see the Vice President doing the same activities now. Tree planting, Christmas party, and other activities na walang confidential funds. Successful naman, safe naman yung activities, di ba? So why need na to spend this much for activities na ginagawa niya pa rin daily ngayon na wala naman siyang confidential funds? Di ba? So it destroys the story na kailangan natin ng confidential fund para security, blah, 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 etc., etc. Because she has been doing the same activities na wala na siyang confidential fund. Example lang kanina, sinabi, no? Road safety, going to that particular activity. That is given to a lot of, kahit regional director, may road safety minsan, di ba? Senador, meron. But they don't have confidential funds. They did not have to purchase information for those things. Di ba? So, yeah, tama yung sinabi ni former Commissioner Heidi Mendoza.
At saka, the safest place for her is Davao City. Di ba? Why would spend for money in an area where you feel the safest?
Sir, second question po. Regarding pa rin dun sa parang naging demeanor ni Attorney Christine Ferrer. Kasi parang towards the latter part, bago mag-suspend, medyo ini-insist niya na kailangan confidential yung mga providers. For example, yung mga butika na pinagbilan o yung mga caterers. What do you make of that, sir? Is this a legal argument or is it merely playing into the narrative that the Vice President's camp want to propagate?
Well, I think strategy din yun. Paulit-ulit niya ko na question, di ba? In fact, objection naman si Lorna, sabi ni presiding officer, asked and answered, di ba? But she still tries to ask questions related to that. Ang ano naman doon is like, the witness was trying to distinguish naman. Kung ano yung, ang sinabi niya lang, kailangan namin ng ORs, for example, the purchase of supplies. Kasi hindi naman yung confidential person ang bibili ng supply. It's the office that buys the supply and gives it to that person who gave the information. So paano mo re-reveal yung identity ng confidential informant, di ba? So there's no need na idaan mo pa sa AR lang. Dapat may proof na pinurchase nyo sa supplies itong pera na to. And that was really the point that she was just trying to say, no? So sinubukang ipitin siya, no? Kung ano yung, ikaw ba ang magdedetermine kung information gathering yan or confidential in nature? That's not the point eh. Ang point lang na sinasabi niya, pag supplies ang pinag-uusapan natin, hindi confidential kung saan binili yung supplies. Kasi ang ibibigay mo sa tao, supplies. Di ba? Hindi naman ibibigay mo yung pera sa tao at siya bibili ng supplies. Di ba? It was purchased by the office. So, bakit walang OR? Bakit walang acknowledgement? Invoice man lang, di ba? So, yun yung entire point lang naman dun eh. But she was really trying her best to destroy the testimony of the witness. In fairness, that's their job eh. Siya naman sa defense, di ba?
Umabot na rin sa punto na parang ang angling nung line of questioning niya is, you shouldn't be asking OR or receipt because by doing so, you are compromising the confidentiality of the activity or whatever initiative that they would like to do. Pero ganito kasi yan eh. Pag magbibili ka ng isang, let's say, laptop ay nakasulat doon ng mga goods, di ba? Laptop, chairs. Hindi mo naman sasabihin na itong bibilihin ko itong laptop, confidential ito, gagamitin namin sa confidential nature ito. No. Actually, no, even the shop does not care whether you use it for whatever purpose. Diba? Ang issue lang is you have used a public fund. Hindi mo pera yan. So talagang kailangan ng COA mag-request sila ng OR and mga invoice. We should not weaken the mandate of COA by being technical about it and say hide behind the confidentiality nature of your activity and say do not ask us any more ORs because this is confidential in nature. For God's sake, what you have used there to buy these supplies are public funds. And the only agency that is constitutionally mandated to audit any transaction, government expenses, na using taxpayers' money is COA. So, yun lang. Very simple lang yun, di ba? At saka babalikan natin. From the very start, no? Kasi nawawala ata ito sa, sa linya din ng questioning. Yung mismong pagbigay ng hindi non-transferable, hindi pwedeng i-delegate. yung power ng SDO to use the confidential funds to any other person. Because if you do that, then that is unlawful expenses. From the very start pa lang, unlawful expenses. Whether kung akong tatanungin mo, whether may OR man yan o walang OR, the mere fact that you have given this task that you're supposed to be exercised, you alone, to another person, that makes the expenses unlawful. Diba? So I mean, let's go back to the very premise why COA has flagged this itong expenses na to ng confidential funds na na-disallow nila, because the very premise of giving that to La Chica and giving that to Colonel Nolasco already is a violation of the joint circular, and therefore it made the utilization of the confidential funds unlawful expenses.
All right. Isaiah, go ahead.
Good morning po. Good afternoon. Regarding po ulit dun sa naging attitude kanina ni Attorney Christina, aside from being it seems like unprofessional, can we see this as also being disrespectful or angry issue towards Attorney Kapunan? And can we also see it as a strategy of the defense to attract the public na maging beneficial sa kanila?
I didn't say it was unprofessional. It was her strategy siguro. I don't know, no, whether it worked or not. Hindi naman bumaliktad yung witness na the fact na ito nga ay irregular expense, di ba? So, siguro, nainis lang yung iba, nanonood. Di ba? Kasi minsan paulit-ulit na di ba? Kahit na nga may ruling na ask and answer, tatanungin niya pa rin, di ba? So, that's strategy maybe. Whether it's working or not, that's really up to you how you appreciate things. Kasi sa akin, parang it's also best not to irritate or annoy either the senator judges or the presiding officer by repeatedly asking questions that has already been ruled upon. No? Kasi you want to be respectful din. No? Pero I don't think na there was no intentional disrespect naman on her part to intentionally annoy Attorney Lorna. Wala naman siguro ganun. But yeah, para-paraan lang kung baga, no? Pero whether it worked or not, that's for us to see.
Meron daw generational gap or divide, no? Yung dalawa. Pero I don't categorize it as unprofessional. She is more combative in a way. But strategy naman yon. There was, well, the senator judges somehow, this is my own observation also, exasperated by the line of questioning of the defense kasi ask and answer. But well, ito naman ding sa prosecutor na si Attorney Lorna Kapunan, alam naman niya, very ano din siya, very nintag dito, sharp din, and very ano siya, what you call this, very attentive siya doon sa every questions that being asked, kaya automatically then immediately kino-call out din niya kung misleading, kung argumentative. So ayun yun, medyo feisty yung ano natin ngayon, yung trial natin ngayon, di ba?
Can we say now na, can we say now na wala pa talagang nakontra itong depensa kahit pa sabihin natin nga medyo maingay yung kanilang abogado?
Well, sa palagay ko, hindi naman din nila po pwedeng sabihin na the COA should not be demanding receipts, di ba? The most that they can actually achieve at this point in time is that yung sa confidential funds, sa purchase of information, kasi hindi nila nabuwag. Pinaremind nga sa defense na they did not flag actually the purchase of information but only the reward. Diba? So, very clear yun. So, doon kasi siya, they're trying to mix up yung purchase of information at saka sa reward. So, the most I think that they have already obtained is that yung sinabi nilang, opinion mo lang to, yung pagre-require ng resibo. Hindi itong sinasabi sa joint circular, di ba? But the joint circular is very clear. Irregular expenses, unlawful expenses, illegal expenses, if you do not comply with the necessary supporting documents, especially if you use the confidential funds as a form of reward, provide document evidencing support, then there's a prima facie or presumption of misuse. Yun ang sinabi. So how do you able to determine that there was misuse? Of course, magre-request ka ng OR, and yung OR kasi ng mga nire-request ng COA is not actually to antagonize the OVP. It's not actually to antagonize the DepEd. It's not to find fault against the OVP and the DepEd. This is actually a way for them to clear and correct their AOM. Binibigyan nyo ng pagkakataon ng COA, bigyan nyo sa amin ng resibo, not really to dig deeper into the mess that the OVP and Department of Education has been insofar as utilization of the confidential funds is concerned. Hindi. Ito'y paraan para makorek nila, para before pa sila magkaroon ng mas malaking problema as far as the auditing of their confidential fund is concerned. So, yun lang. The most that they have obtained is that. Pero hindi din nila na-refute na una, meron talagang basis kaya nagkaroon ng notice of disallowance, especially doon sa reward na binibigay sa mga informants. At saka, yung paggamit ng confidential funds na ang form of reward nila ay medicine, supplies na hindi dapat ginagamit yon na ayon sa joint circular ng COA.
Sir, one question lang on my end. Sinabi kasi ni COA Auditor Del Campo previously na ang nag-prompt ng issuance ng ND ay yung pag-transfer ng disbursement kay La Chica more than anything, aside from zero accomplishment nung confisc spending. Do you think the arguments presented by the defense this morning were able to dispute those facts na may delegation na hindi allowed sa circular and walang accomplishment? Thank you.
Actually, they've spent how many hours na cross-examining the witness, and never did we hear from the defense the name of La Chica and Nolasco. I think that those are the very names that they try to avoid. Because the more we touch on La Chica and Nolasco, the clearer it is for the court and for the public that from the very beginning there was really that deliberate violation of the joint circular. Kaya nga sinasabi ko, the very fact na tinransfer nito na hindi naman transferable, di ba? It's already making the utilization of the confidential funds unlawful expenses and irregular, andun sin sa joint circular.
SDO is appointed for a purpose na siya ang responsible sa pera na yan. And that's why pinagbabawal po na i-transfer niya pa to another person. Ang SDO po is a bonded person. Meaning, kung anong nangyari sa pera na yan, may bond siyang sasagot doon. That's why he's a special disbursing officer. So kung ipasa mo yun sa tao na hindi mo alam kung bonded ba or not, then you're already violating everything it is intended for. No? Kasi nawawala na yung security ng government eh. Kasi ang bond is supposed to answer if you misuse it or nawala mo or hindi mo ma-account for ang pera na yun. Paano mo ma-account or paano ma-answer ng bond kung ang taong binigyan mo is ini-bonded at hindi siya ang SDO? So that makes it highly irregular. Pero klaro naman sa testimony ng witness kanina na hindi naman lahat niya finlag eh. 'Di ba? So sabi nga ni Zia, distinguish pa rin yung purchase of information tsaka payment of rewards.
Alright. Dahil po magpapatuloy na muli ang impeachment trial sa ilang minuto, we have to conclude this. Salamat po sa ating mga guests ngayon, Congressman Flores, Congressman Jones, sa ating mga kaibigan sa media, sa ating mga kababayan na sumusubaybay sa impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat.